Number 1. A tourist paradise on the sea of plastic trash. Indonesia is the world's fourth most populous country with over 283 million people, and is also among the countries most heavily polluted by plastic waste. In Bali, nearly 3 million tourists visited in the first half of 2023 alone. Beneath the beauty of its pristine beaches and ancient temples, the island faces a problem of plastic waste piling up on its streets, shorelines, and rivers. Current waste management and recycling systems have not kept pace with the rate of tourist waste generation. Indonesia currently accounts for about 10% of global plastic pollution, second only to China, and many coastal areas are implementing large-scale seasonal cleanups to prevent further pollution. In 2019, Gary Benegib founded Sungai Watch with the goal of stopping plastic waste in rivers before it reaches the sea. In just 2 hours of operation, his team can collect approximately 200 kilos of plastic waste. After more than 3 years, they have prevented over 1,700 tons of waste from entering the river. But compared to the total amount of plastic waste dumped into the river, this number is still very small. According to 2025 data, plastic pollution in rivers such as the Citarum and Jakarta rivers will still be at alarming levels. Between 74 and 87% of floating waste is plastic, and the density of microplastics is many times higher than normal, even being detected in riverbed sediments and the food chain of freshwater organisms. However, Bali is also witnessing innovative efforts from the community. Several pilot programs are being implemented in Bali and Jakarta, converting waste into electricity for residential areas while reducing the amount of waste dumped into the river. In addition, local organizations are applying a waste for necessities model, helping people proactively sort and reduce household waste. Some schools in Bali are even incorporating environmental education into their curriculum, so that children become the core force in changing waste disposal habits in the future. These efforts demonstrate how community, technology, and education can combine to reduce environmental impact, even in densely populated and touristy areas. Bali is both a renowned tourist paradise and a reflection of the world's urgent environmental struggle today. Number 2. Slums in the heart of Indonesia. This reality reveals a stark portrait of Indonesia's urban landscape. According to the Asian Development Bank, more than 29 million people, around 20% of the urban population, live in slums known as Kungkumu. These settlements are built from corrugated iron, scrap wood, recycled plastic, and factory waste, forming a dense network of makeshift yet lively housing. Only about 2% of urban areas have proper drainage, so sewage overflows into alleys and garbage accumulates across neighborhoods. During the rainy season, flash floods inundate homes, turning streets into dirty pools where children must stand on tables or raised objects to stay above the water. Over 40% of households lack private toilets, and electricity is supplied through improvised lines from nearby industrial areas, creating a constant risk of electric shock. Some districts even report nighttime power short circuits during heavy rain, forcing residents to take turns, keeping watch. Despite these hardships, Kungkumu residents have developed impressive survival solutions. They construct simple bridges, install temporary water pipes, build small filtration tanks, grow vegetables on rooftops, and create vertical wall gardens to support food and water needs. Many households design their own rainwater collection and reuse systems, easing shortages in the dry season and ensuring drinking water for children and the elderly. Some communities also form shared repair groups to provide tools and materials, helping low-income families maintain their homes at minimal cost. The government's Kotaku program has upgraded more than 6,800 hectares of poor residential areas, though over 3,000 hectares remain untreated. Many residents hesitate to relocate due to fears of losing jobs, social connections, and community support. Non-governmental organizations assist by installing rainwater tanks, temporary bridges, and filtration systems in flood-prone areas while organizing environmental hygiene classes for children to reduce waterborne illnesses. Some projects even pilot a clean water bank, where residents collectively maintain shared water tanks. The story of Kungkumu highlights human resilience and adaptability in extreme urban conditions. Residents do more than survive. They actively improve daily life through practical, community-driven solutions, turning fragile settlements into a nearly self-sustaining ecosystem despite persistent floods, waste, and weak infrastructure. Number 3. The invisible nightmare in Java. Java serves as the economic heart of Indonesia, with a population density of over 1,000 people per square kilometer, making it one of the most densely populated regions on Earth and a major industrial hub of the country. Factory complexes stretch toward the horizon, and decades of industrialization have placed immense pressure on the ecosystem. One of the most serious consequences is the rise of plastic and microplastic pollution in both air and water, spreading from industrial zones to densely populated neighborhoods and suburbs. International environmental reports have even detected microplastics in agricultural soil near factories, raising concerns about long-term impacts on local farming. In Trapolo, an industrial village in eastern Java, small production facilities do not only release industrial fumes, but also burn plastic waste as fuel, producing thick black smoke and microplastic particles suspended in the air. This means pollution exists not only in the atmosphere, but also enters daily food and drinking water. Studies have found microplastics in urban air, with dozens of particles within every 9 square meters of space, showing how deeply pollution has penetrated everyday life. Some families even hang wet cloths at their doors to filter dust as a simple way to protect themselves. About 800 kilometers from Bali, Jakarta faces an even greater environmental challenge. With a population exceeding 30 million, the city suffers from chronic traffic congestion, the highest air pollution levels in Indonesia, and alarming land subsidence caused by excessive groundwater extraction combined with climate change. Many neighborhoods now lie below sea level and experience frequent flooding during the rainy season. In response, the government is implementing large-scale infrastructure projects, including hundreds of kilometers of seawalls along the northern coast of Java, with international funding worth tens of billions of dollars. At the same time, some communities are experimenting with modular floating houses to adapt to seasonal floods instead of relying solely on flood barriers. Air pollution in Jakarta has caused more than 6 million residents to suffer respiratory illnesses, increasing healthcare costs and placing growing pressure on the city's health system. Community clinics report that children and the elderly are the most vulnerable groups. What is happening in Java and Jakarta is not merely environmental statistics, but a story about public health, livelihoods, and the long-term future of millions of people. Java is therefore not only an economic center, but also a mirror reflecting the environmental challenges faced by rapidly expanding cities in the 21st century. Number 4. Indonesia and the dark side of TikTok. The relationship between Indonesia and technology hasn't always been smooth, and TikTok is becoming a clear example of that. Indonesia currently has the world's second largest TikTok user base after the United States, and with that scale comes a controversial phenomenon. Many older women and low-income workers live stream themselves crying, complaining, or bathing in mud to receive virtual gifts from viewers, which they then exchange for real money. The average income of $20 to $50 per day helps them make ends meet, especially given the lack of stable employment in many rural households. These live streams often last for hours and can attract thousands to tens of thousands of viewers. This phenomenon has prompted the Indonesian Ministry of Home Affairs to request that TikTok remove abusive accounts and strengthen content control, particularly as the elderly are a vulnerable group. According to 2025 data, more than 1.2 million live streams with the purpose of virtual gift giving are held each month, with 65% of participants being women over 50. Some sociologists warn that this money-making model can create psychological dependence, as participants feel compelled to play the role of suffering to maintain viewership. Ironically, audiences in Indonesia, the Philippines, and the United States view gift-giving as an act of goodwill, similar to supporting street artists, only everything happens on a digital platform. Some families even consider it their primary source of income, significantly altering the economic role of older adults compared to traditional methods. To reduce dependence, many local communities have opened digital skills classes and vocational training programs, helping women and older adults transition to online sales, crafts, or community projects with more stable incomes. A 2025 survey revealed that approximately 18% of those involved in this activity experienced mild mental health issues due to the pressure of frequent live streaming. Several provinces have experimented with a community mental health care club model, where people receive counseling and support instead of facing the pressure of earning money alone. The TikTok phenomenon in Indonesia is therefore not just an economic story, but also reflects the struggle between digital opportunities, social vulnerability, and the need to protect public health in the digital age. Number 5. The recycling revolution in Surabaya. Indonesia is currently experiencing a powerful wave of innovation, and Surabaya is one of the most prominent examples. Here, the perception of waste has completely changed. Recyclable waste is no longer seen as an environmental burden, but rather as a valuable asset that can be exchanged for cash, necessities, or bus tickets. People bring plastic bottles, scrap paper, and metal cans to waste banks, where they are accepted and exchanged by weight. Just 5 kilos of plastic bottles or 2 kilos of paper can earn them a free bus ticket worth between $30 and $50. Over 500 collection points now operate as community banks, allowing residents to withdraw between $2 and $10 per month. Some communities even use money from the waste banks to create common funds for road repairs, purchasing street lights, and supporting impoverished households during the rainy season. The impact of this program is clearly demonstrated by the numbers. In its first year of implementation, Surabaya reduced plastic waste by nearly 20%, and by 2025, some pilot areas are expected to see reductions of up to 25% along canals and small rivers. Recycling awareness in schools has significantly increased, with regular Recycling Day events. Some schools have even transformed recycled plastic into playground benches or miniature park landscapes, helping students see the true value of recycling in their daily lives. The Indonesian government is planning to expand this model to Jakarta, Bandung, and Medan. Several pilot projects combine waste banks with compost production from organic waste, rooftop vegetable gardens, and the use of recycled plastic to create building bricks for community projects. Some local businesses have also begun collaborating to purchase plastic waste from residents to incorporate into the recycled materials production chain, forming a circular economy ecosystem on an urban scale. This is not just an environmental solution, but also a redefinition of how society transforms waste into economic value. It demonstrates the creativity and resilience of communities in the context of crowded, polluted, and resource-scarce urban environments. This model is being monitored and studied by several cities in Southeast Asia for future pilot implementation. Would you like such a system implemented where you live? Share your perspective in the comments. Number 6. Aceh, the land of special regulations. One of the most controversial aspects of Indonesia today is its new criminal code, with many provisions that may surprise tourists. According to the regulations soon to be implemented, extramarital affairs or cohabitation without marriage registration could lead to severe legal penalties. Those who commit adultery could face up to 1 year in prison, while couples living together without being married could face 6 months. These regulations apply to both Indonesian citizens and foreign residents, forcing tourists to consider their personal behavior, lifestyle, and public conduct. In Aceh province, where Sharia law is strictly enforced, public flogging remains a punishment for many offenses, including adultery, gambling, alcohol use, and homosexual relations. In early 2022, a woman was given 100 lashes for adultery, while 2 others received 77 lashes each for homosexual acts. By 2025, this punishment will continue to be carried out annually in large numbers, and many areas in Aceh are more closely monitored than other provinces. Religious police directly participate in observing the executions to ensure Sharia law is properly enforced. These regulations reflect a deeply conservative aspect of Indonesian social life and directly affect both residents and international visitors. Tourists are advised to thoroughly research local laws, including regulations on dress code, communication, public conduct, and personal relationships, especially when traveling to Aceh, to minimize the risk of unintentional violations. Tourism organizations and local communities often provide guides for foreigners to help them adapt to Sharia law and its mandatory rules. These regulations are not only legal in nature, but also reflect cultural differences and the prominent role of religious law in Indonesian social life. Number 7. The mystery of the Pawn Festival. Now, let's enter the Pawn Festival in Indonesia, held 7 times a year on a sacred mountain on the island of Java, at the Gunung Kungkumu temple. People come not only to pray and offer traditional sacrifices, but also to participate in a spiritual ritual in which they intimately connect with a complete stranger to pray for good fortune and prosperity. Participants must remain with the same companion throughout all 7 different festivals, each spaced 35 days apart, and that person must not be their spouse for the ritual to be considered valid. Before beginning, they bathe and soak in springs to purify their bodies, preparing both mentally and for the ritual. At its peak, around 8,000 people gather in the area that locals call the Hill of Love. According to cultural records from 2025, the pawn ritual continues to exist in small communities in Java, and families often keep their identities secret to avoid risks associated with religious regulations. Participants also perform the Black Moon Shadow Ritual, in which they wear handcrafted wooden masks and move around the forest surrounding the sacred mountain on the night of the new moon. They walk in a circle, carrying lit candles and chanting ancient incantations, and are not allowed to speak any words other than the chants. The meaning of the ritual is to strengthen the connection between people and the sacred energy of the mountain, protect the community from misfortune, pray for good fortune in business, and increase family bonds. Only those chosen by the village chief can participate, and this ritual takes place alongside the main ceremony, creating a mystical and solemn atmosphere. A widow facing financial difficulties stated that after participating in the ritual, her business prospered and her income increased significantly. As of 2025, the Black Moon Ritual attracts around 500 people each time it is held and remains closely guarded within the community, becoming an important part of the cultural life of local residents in Java. These rituals demonstrate the interplay between traditional beliefs and modern life, quietly existing but maintaining a strong spiritual role in the community. Number 8. The mystery of the man who married 87 times. The story of Khan, a 64-year-old farmer in West Java, seems unbelievable but is true in the local culture. He has been married 87 times and is currently preparing for his 88th marriage to one of his former wives. Of these, only about 40 marriages were officially registered under the religious system, while the majority took place according to the community's traditions, reflecting how the people here continue ancient customs. At one point, Khan lived with more than 2 wives simultaneously, and in total he has married 46 different women, some of whom agreed to marry him 3 or 4 times. His longest marriage lasted 14 years, while some lasted only a month or even a week. He first entered marriage at the age of 14 to a girl 2 years older than him. According to Khan, his multiple marriages weren't because he viewed love as fleeting, but rather as a way of showing respect to women, not wanting anyone to feel like they were just a temporary relationship. Even though a marriage lasted only a very short time, he still saw it as a sacred bond. Cultural researchers in 2025 noted that approximately 30% of communities in West Java still maintain the ritual of repeated remarriage between the same couple, similar to Khan's practice, to strengthen social cohesion and affirm the value of mutual respect. Besides Khan's case, many men and women in the community also experience 4 to 6 remarriages in their lifetime, with a few even up to 10, as a way to protect property rights, maintain family ties, and ensure stability in family life. Pre-wedding rituals, including family participation in community ceremonies, still occur in over 60% of small villages in West Java, helping the younger generation understand the meaning of marriage and the responsibilities of family life. Wedding ceremonies are typically small-scale, costing between 500,000 and 2,000 rupiah, blending Islamic rituals and local customs, ensuring that regardless of the length of the marriage, it is conducted with dignity. The story of Khan and the West Java community illustrates how tradition, personal choice, and local cultural values together shape very different marriage experiences, quietly but vibrantly present in society in 2025. Number 9. Jakarta's nightlife. Jakarta's nightlife presents a stark contrast, where strict laws coexist with a complex underworld. While extramarital affairs can result in up to 5 years in prison and viewing explicit content punishable by 4 years, the city boasts a thriving, often clandestine, adult entertainment industry. Every service has a place here, from inexpensive options for the average consumer to high-end experiences for the elite. Many massage parlors are located within large shopping malls, with average prices around $30, targeting budget travelers and urban workers. Meanwhile, the wealthy and luxury hotel guests have access to more private services, costing between $400 and $500, sometimes including private rooms, transportation, and discreet service. By 2025, social researchers noted that this activity had gradually shifted to online platforms, through messaging apps and private social media groups, making control increasingly difficult. Some high-end nightclubs still operate discreetly, only serving regulars or those referred, creating a clandestine service network that exists alongside government crackdowns. Data from 2025 shows that the majority of these establishments are located in 3 northern districts of Jakarta, with an estimated more than 1,200 operating discreetly and underhandedly. Jakarta thus reflects a stark paradox. Strict legal regulations on social ethics coexist with a sophisticated underground service system, powered by technology and personal connections. From the budget to the high-end segments, every customer group has its own market, highlighting the vast gap between legal ideals and the realities of urban life. Number 10. The mysterious ritual of keeping the dead. If you find the idea of living with the deceased unbelievable, the Toraja tradition in Sulawesi will make you think otherwise. They maintain a unique belief system where death is not an end, but a transitional journey to the spirit world. The deceased are kept in the home for weeks, months, or even years, carefully preserved with a mixture of formalin and native herbs, placed in an elaborately decorated coffin with fabrics, jewelry, and valuable items. Family members continue to talk to, bring food, and offer gifts to the deceased, believing that the spirit remains present with loved ones. Besides the famous Rambu Solo ceremony, in 2025, the Toraja community will maintain a supplementary ritual called the Coffin of the Soul. In this ceremony, the body is placed in an open coffin, candles and incense are lit around it, and young people dance in a circle and chant ancient incantations. The purpose of the ritual is to strengthen the connection between the living and their ancestors, and to pray for peace and good fortune for the entire community in the new year. Afterward, the body is dressed in new clothes and carried through the village streets before being buried in a cave or family tomb, similar to the Rambu Solo ceremony, but emphasizing the sense of community and sacredness. According to records from 2025, both the Rambu Solo ceremony and this supplementary ritual attract more than 500 participants each time and are still held within the limited scope of the local community. These rituals represent the intersection of traditional beliefs and modern life, existing quietly but still playing an important role in Toraja cultural identity. Number 11. The mysterious blue-eyed tribe on Buton Island. On Buton Island, amidst a community where the majority of residents possess black eyes, the Buton tribe stands out due to the rare presence of individuals with naturally blue eyes, making them one of the most unique groups in Southeast Asia. Some have 2 blue eyes, while others have 1 blue eye and 1 black eye, creating a distinctive appearance. The island, approximately 4,700 square kilometers with around 450,000 inhabitants, is home to many small, isolated tribes that have preserved their traditional lifestyles for generations. According to scientists, this blue-eyed phenomenon is linked to Waardenburg syndrome, a very rare genetic condition affecting only about 1 in 42,000 people. By 2025, approximately 50 to 60 Buton individuals will still exhibit this trait, and their DNA data will play a crucial role in studying ancient migration history and genetic mapping of Southeast Asia. Several international genetics laboratories have collaborated with the local community to store biological samples for future research and preservation of genetic heritage. In addition, some traditional rituals continue to be maintained to remind younger generations of their family origins and the value of this rare genetic trait. The Buton people live in stilt houses built over the sea, and their diet relies heavily on seafood, plantains, and sea vegetables. Their striking blue eyes, a characteristic feature of Indonesians, have made them a cultural symbol of the community. Studies from 2025 suggest that the combination of blue and black eyes helps them adapt better to the harsh sunlight, and that individuals with blue eyes have been found to have approximately 30% sharper vision than average. Some traditional divers in the village report better visibility of the seabed during the day, which significantly aids in coastal fishing. Beyond their biological role, individuals with blue eyes hold significant spiritual importance within the community. They are often chosen to lead rituals, connecting generations and preserving cultural ties. Some local youth groups have even developed community education programs to share the story of Buton's blue eyes with tourists and students, thereby fostering indigenous pride and a sense of cultural preservation. These observations demonstrate that this rare genetic trait not only holds scientific significance, but also reflects the strong cultural vitality of the Buton tribe in 2025. Number 12. Indonesian Women's Day. On April 21st each year, Indonesians celebrate Hari Kartini as a holiday honoring women through education and social awareness. Unlike Mother's Day in the United States, which is more family-oriented, Hari Kartini emphasizes knowledge, culture, and the role of women in community development. Millions of girls wearing traditional kebaya and batik scarves participate in debates, essay writing, drama, and folk art performances. By 2025, schools in Yogyakarta and Bandung will organize more than 200 learning and creative programs centered around Hari Kartini, encouraging students to research women's rights, historical female figures, and women's contributions to modern life. Some schools will even build Kartini-themed libraries, displaying books, images, and historical documents for students to explore on their own. In some localities, role-switching rituals are organized to help boys experience household chores and caring for relatives, thereby better understanding the responsibilities and hardships of women. Many communities also invite female doctors, scientists, and local leaders to share real-life stories, helping girls see inspiring role models beyond textbooks. By 2025, NGOs will implement numerous workshops on life skills, personal finance, and leadership thinking for girls, while also supporting families in building a more equitable learning environment. Businesses and government agencies will organize gender equality workshops, community activities, and social media campaigns to raise awareness on a broad scale. The central spirit of Hari Kartini lies in education and culture rather than commercialization. There are no extravagant gifts or ostentatious displays. Instead, the celebration of women is expressed through understanding, action, and social responsibility. By 2025, statistics show that over 1.5 million students and more than 3,200 schools across Indonesia participated in Hari Kartini activities, demonstrating the strong impact of this holiday in preserving traditions and promoting social equality. In many rural areas, the holiday also becomes an opportunity for community bonding as schools, families, and local authorities collaborate to organize cultural activities for children. Hari Kartini thus becomes a bridge between history and modernity, creating a meaningful educational space for the younger generation and reinforcing awareness of the role of women in contemporary society. Number 13. The Mermaid Tribe, the Mystery of Baha. The Baha tribe is known as one of Southeast Asia's most unique nomadic maritime communities, often described as real-life mermaids, living in the seas stretching from Indonesia to the Philippines and Malaysia. They spend most of their day at sea, with many divers spending 8 to 9 hours underwater, and some capable of holding their breath for up to 13 minutes at depths of 60 meters without any equipment. Even members with modest skills can dive 20 meters in 5 minutes using only handcrafted wooden goggles and homemade weight belts. Their primary livelihood is fishing for fish, squid, and octopus, with yields ranging from 1 to 8 kilograms per day. By 2025, some have shifted to collecting high-value lobsters and mussels to increase the community's income. Some groups even practice a system of sharing seafood catches equally during difficult seasons to ensure every family has food. Baha children grow up by the sea, not focusing on modern schooling, but learning to read wind direction, recognize currents, and hunt from a young age. Adults sometimes intentionally puncture their eardrums to reduce pain when diving deep, but this results in many experiencing hearing loss. Their eyesight is exceptionally sharp, allowing them to easily observe small creatures on the seabed. Life takes place in wooden stilt houses built on the water, with a diet based on seafood, bananas, and sea vegetables. To protect their skin, they create a traditional sunscreen by mixing cassava starch with water, drying it, and applying it to their faces. Some families still maintain a traditional ritual before each sea voyage, in which divers pray for calm seas and a safe journey. Studies from 2025 also show that the Baha people possess remarkable biological adaptations, such as short breathing techniques to optimize oxygen levels in the body, and spleens that are about 50% larger than average, helping to store red blood cells and prolong the ability to hold their breath. Beyond fishing, some small Baha groups in Indonesia have begun experimenting with community-based tourism models, allowing visitors to observe traditional diving techniques or practice basic breathing exercises in a safe environment, generating supplementary income without losing their cultural identity. Some programs also include training Baha youth in coral reef conservation and protecting local fish stocks as part of a sustainable livelihood. Their extraordinary diving abilities, rare biological adaptability, and close connection to the ocean make this tribe a living testament to the enduring relationship between humans and the sea, which is expected to continue into 2025. Number 14. The mysteries of Indonesian wild cuisine. Indonesian cuisine reflects how people adapt to their environment and local resources through dishes that are both unique and deeply culturally significant. On the island of Java, sakar, a dish of grilled lizard meat on skewers with a spicy peanut sauce, is considered by many to be a nutritious and healthy food. In northern Sulawesi, paniki, or wild bat meat cooked with coconut milk and strong spices, still holds an important place in traditional meals and is associated with local beliefs about curing respiratory illnesses and allergies. In Maluku and Papua, sago worms, larvae that live inside sago palm or coconut trees, are eaten raw, grilled, or boiled, and are often considered a valuable source of protein in regions with limited livestock. Some communities even consider sago worms a festival dish, appearing only on special occasions to show respect to their ancestors. In Jakarta, street stalls selling cobra skewers create a distinctive culinary feature, served with red onions, sweet soy sauce, and spicy peanut sauce. By 2025, some restaurants will even add seaweed and traditional herbs to the dish, which locals believe helps increase stamina and boost immunity. Some young chefs in Jakarta are experimenting with modern variations, incorporating snake skewers into fusion menus for curious tourists, transforming this folk dish into an exploratory culinary experience. Meanwhile, arak, a mixture of snake blood and honey, still appears in some folk rituals, considered a drink symbolizing strength and good fortune. According to studies, in many villages in Maluku, children are taught to prepare sago worms from a young age as part of traditional survival knowledge. In Papua, sago worms are often combined with native leaves to create energy-rich dishes to support daily labor. Some community cultural projects in 2025 also acknowledge efforts to preserve these dishes as local culinary heritage through traditional food festivals and cultural education programs for youth. These dishes are not only a source of nutrition, but also symbols of belief, ritual, and cultural identity that endure in Indonesian life. Number 15. Symbols of faith and tradition. In Indonesia, where Islam plays a central role in spiritual life, the hijab emerges as a symbol that blends faith, tradition, and modern lifestyles for women. Made from chiffon, silk, or cotton, hijabs are designed in a variety of colors and patterns, allowing women to maintain modesty while still asserting their individuality in daily life, as the hijab covers the hair, neck, and chest as an act of reverence to Allah. Some young Indonesian designers have even created hijab collections specifically for the workplace and education environment, integrating traditional attire into modern urban life. According to 2025 data, approximately 60% of women aged 15 to 45 regularly wear hijabs, particularly popular in major cities like Jakarta, Bandung, and Yogyakarta, where hijab styles blend tradition and contemporary aesthetics. In Bali, Hindu women still cover their heads during sacred ceremonies to show respect for the deities, demonstrating that head covering is a broader cultural expression than religion. A 2025 cultural study shows that Butan women and many other minority communities also wear headscarves during ancestral worship ceremonies to preserve the spiritual ties of family and community. Some villages even hold training sessions for girls on how to choose and use headscarves in rituals as part of their traditional education. Women who wear hijabs tend to maintain a restrained demeanor in their interactions with men, avoiding physical contact and prioritizing polite speech as an expression of dignity and humility. Many schools and social organizations have implemented discussions on the role of the hijab in women's empowerment, helping students understand that wearing a hijab is also linked to personal choice and cultural identity. As a result, the hijab in Indonesia has become a bridge between religion, tradition, and modern life, both preserving ancient values and reflecting the status and strength of women in today's society. And let me know if you're interested in visiting Indonesia after learning about the amazing aspects of this country. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so we can see you in our next video. Thank you so much for your time with us today. I hope you enjoyed it. Your support truly means a lot. If you have any thoughts or stories you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. We'll see you soon.